Hi, we're the Death Hilarious, and unfortunately, we're the last of the good guys. Oh, that was at the beginning of a sitcom then. We both sat down at the same time.
Hey guys.
Starring Eric Morecambe and Lily Savage.
Take one. Shirt is too small for me, the truth of the matter.
Well, I'll teach you, mate, for going to the slim fit section, won't it?
Yeah, well, I could wear them years ago, but I can't wear them now. It's
Yeah.
still a passage of time, it's strange.
It's strange how it, like, you know...
The more you eat,
nothing
the less you do, the bigger you get.
It's weird, and that's just Father Time. Like, it's not
And
your
that's
problem.
just-
That's not your fault.
Part of the time, yeah.
This one I bought, this dress, I bought it off the rack at a vintage shop, and I'm a big girl.
Yeah.
So I was very surprised that it actually fit my broad shoulders, and so afraid am I that I will never be able to get a dress that fits again. As I've been wearing this for
8
years.
8 years. It smells like it too.
Yeah, it really does. It's like, you know, when the sweat gets baked into the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So it constantly smells like sweat now. It's the aura of sweat around on it. It's like the memory of sweat.
Memory of sweat.
This is my favourite Guillem del Toro film, The Memory of Sweat.
Gwillem.
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 He's Welsh.
Yeah, he's from Wales, yeah.
How should we start? Episode 1. The first episode. Well, we've actually done this. This will be the third time we've done episode 1.
Yep.
We've done episodes 2 and 3 already.
Yep.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino film, you know, he films it all out of order. So this is the third time we've done this.
Yep.
Because we did it a test once and the footage was lost. We lost the footage, then we did another one, the footage was lost again.
Yep.
And oh wow, who fucking cares? Just get on with it. Welcome to Last of the Good Guys.
Yes.
Can you maybe talk about why we picked that name?
Yeah, because there are so many horrible bastards in comedy who paint themselves as good guys. And we never claimed to be.
No.
So we're kind of ironically claiming that we are now.
We're not like
No, but we're alright, you know. We're
bad
not actually...
people, but we can be quite cunty.
Yeah.
We're not
Eat
evil.
somebody. No.
We're not on the evil scale. But
No, I've never eaten a baby, I can tell you that much.
No, and I have never kicked a dog to death.
No, I've caused people misery.
Yes.
You know. But people I didn't like. For good reason. I wouldn't take a dislike to someone for no reason.
No. And we always thought, well, we would always say to each other, like we just came up with this idea of, we were thinking once about the idea of going up to people and telling them the most offensive thing in the world. Like go to someone saying, oh, by the way, excuse me, mate, I'm going to just say, that haircut looks absolutely shit. And I'm telling you that because I'm one of the good guys. So,
And you know, like some people go, look, what you see is what you get. With us, that's absolutely generally not true.
no.
We would never be honest. Unless we
No.
know you, if we've known you for years, you're
Yeah.
not going to see what we're like because...
No. You're not a trusted
would you?
source. Unless you're a
Would you?
trusted source. Yeah.
Exactly. But we're not telling you that we are, you know. It's like when I work with some of these like middle-aged women are mainly guilty of this, and they go, look, so I've got something to tell you. I'll tell it to your face.
Yeah.
I go, I know that's not true.
Yeah.
Because
And
you
also-
were slagging Carol off the other week. And,
Yeah.
if you, go up and tell her what you said to her about her daughter,
Yeah.
what she looked like on her wedding day. Go and tell her, because
Yeah.
you've got something to say. You should say it to her face. And they look at you and they go, no, I'm not doing that. And I go, well, don't say it then.
Yeah, don't say
That's
it.
fine. So really we are the last of the good guys, because we're telling you how things really are.
We're honest about our cuntitude.
Yeah. But you won't see the full cuntitude.
No, it's like it's about 50%. It's at safe levels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's
It's just short of getting into pre-cancelling territory.
right. Well, that's the other thing is we realised to make any kind of dent, even though we do want to be honest, we also realise you got to play the game.
Yeah.
So to that end, so Glenn here is married to a woman. Whereas with me, I'm going to deliberately maintain my sexual ambiguity to draw more listeners and viewers in.
Exactly.
And that's, a very cynical ploy.
Pretty much.
On our part.
Yep. So the mantra is, I'm straight.
Could be.
He could be.
I could
We
be.
don't know if he
I
is.
could be.
He could be. So that said, Darren wearing a dress and wearing makeup, being a transvestite, which is one of the trends you don't hear about much these days,
No.
but it is nonetheless a real thing. And even before I knew Darren, that's like 12, 13 years or something.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Darren has been wearing women's clothes for a long time, and I know that the tone of this might sound like we're going for a gag here, but we really aren't.
No.
Like, this is genuine. It
It
comes from a far more of a kind of alternative punk kind of thing than just wearing a dress on stage to shock people. That's not really what it is, but go on, you explain.
It also is.
But it is that, but
it's
that's not,
multifaceted.
but it's not like
really.
a recent thing, is it? You haven't
No.
just decided to wear it
No.
when we did comedy. You were doing it before then.
Yeah, I used to wear it in the valleys, in the Welsh valleys. So I used to do gigs, or sometimes I would just go out and I'd wear tights and makeup. I nearly got in a fight once. I was in a very a wonderful little establishment called Raffles in Treforest, just outside of Pontypridd, and I went into the venue and I had
You lost that raffle.
yeah, definitely, and I had makeup on and was kind of dressed like this, and we bumped into a bunch of lightly lads, I'm going to call them.
The boys?
Yeah, a couple of boys who were definitely like on coke and booze and just spooning for a fight, basically. And they locked onto me and set upon me with the ferocity of dogs. And I remember one of them sort of sidling up to me and looking at me and saying, "Why are you dressed like that for? Are you a puff?" And I said, "I don't know, I might be." Making the situation better.
Yeah.
I said, "I don't know, I might be." And he said, "Well, give us a kiss then." So I obliged. I kissed him on the mouth. And then he hit me in the head.
Of course he did.
A fight nearly broke out, and luckily the bouncers
Came to your
intervened.
aid.
Those of you out there who look at me and say, he hasn't fought the good fight, I have.
Literally.
Yeah. Just once, though. Well, what about like this podcast? Why are we doing this? We've resisted doing one for years, and in the end, there are podcasters out there who do it because they have something to say. They feel like they're funny enough. They feel like they're interesting enough. They have a very left field viewpoint. They also have a good camaraderie, have a good rapport. Not us. We did it because our agent told us to. But the difference between us and most podcasters is we actually know each other.
Yeah, we do.
And we actually are best friends
in
real life.
Yeah.
And we've known each other for 15 or between 12 and 15 years.
Yeah, we can't really remember, but
But how did we meet? You remember the first? What do you remember at the first time you saw me? Because I know what you thought when you first met me.
I remember just looking at you in.
What did I look like back then?
Like full leather jacket, like flat cap, like basically like Russell Brand.
Yeah, God, I used to get that a lot.
And you we were in the drama society in university, and someone had just done like a self-penned piece in like a smaller performance area in the university, and they were coming off stage, and he was doing this really over-the-top clapping and going up to them and congratulating them.
Hang on, I'm going to dispute the over-the-top clapping. I would never have done that. I would have done over-the-top aloofness and indifference.
Yeah, but the clapping was definitely there as well. It was like maybe not over-the-top clapping. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say. But it was like almost like it was like clapping that was verging on sarcastic, but it wasn't sarcastic.
Right,
so I'm going to say it was over-the-top.
Right, okay.
So that's what I'm sticking.
Glenn's
with.
was taking genuine emotion here for like some sort of
because he feels art more than anybody else. You see, because he wears a dress. So I thought, I don't like that bloke. I don't like him. I thought, it's too much. It's
happy
too
to
much.
hear that the feeling was mutual. I know. When I first saw Glenn, was in a university social, and he was on stage. And you say, that you had a problem with the way I was dressed. Glenn, the first time I clapped eyes on Glenn, he was doing a comedy character on stage.
It was a comedy character.
And the comedy character was dressed head to toe in a kind of... It was an SS uniform, right?
Well, Wehrmacht, but alright. German, World War II.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't SS, I wouldn't do anything in that poor taste.
No, of course. and he was dressed from head to toe with that, and I remember looking at him and going, wow, what a faux reactionary try-hard. And you'll be happy to hear, ladies and gentlemen, 15 years later, I've been proved completely right in that opinion.
It was, I don't know, a bunch of us doing a charity night in Minsky.
Oh, don't try and claw it back.
It was.
Sorry, we're just trying to raise some
was
cash for refugees. Sue me.
It wasn't for refugees.
Oh, okay.
Should have been.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been if you were dressed like that.
No.
Trying to raise funds to rebuild the Conservative Club roof.
Yeah.
To repaint that picture of the Duke of Edinburgh on the wall.
Oh, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
No,
he's burning in hell.
It was a charity night,
yes.
and they were asking people to do outrageous cabaret turns. So I was in early years of creativity, and I was quite a...
Hadn't found his feet yet. This little
fledgling. I hadn't. I'd very much fallen out of the nest and couldn't get back into it. That's the truth. No, I was doing a cat. It was like everyone did these like weird sort of characters at this show. It was like I think it was a chat. I think it was like for Stonewall, maybe, or maybe a more local charity.
Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, for Stonewall Jackson's memorial.
So we met at university, didn't we?
Yes,
and we were both in the Drama Society. Yeah, who'd have thought it? And we bonded over the fact that we were in the union one day, and we were kind of chatting, and I found out Glenn had an encyclopedic knowledge of the sitcom Bottom.
Yes.
Which so did I.
Yeah.
And we were quoting it back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
And then the same happened for Blackadder Series 3.
Which is the best series.
Which is the best series. Very underrated, but that's the best series. In that we could quote it verbatim. And, you have that thing. And I think maybe a few double acts have had this, or maybe just comedians in general. It's where you kind of, your ears prick up as if you're hearing a certain frequency.
It's a language almost.
It's a language. You're like, this could be, this could be something.
Yeah.
We could,
Well, I guess...
We're either going to be best friends or we're going to have sex tonight and never call each other again. And thankfully, it was the first one.
Yes, it was. Although the other one's cool if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting.
No,
we've been, we've done, we've been to Edinburgh, we've been to the Soho, we've got decent reviews from broadsheets, we've got critical respect from our peers,
we've got a good review.
We've got a very small following, we've got a good agent in London, but it's still not enough. So here we are. So here we are. We're doing a podcast. It's called The Last of the Good Guys.
Yeah.
It's free.
Please put a penny in our little tambourine.
Yeah. If it does well enough, we may do a Patreon, or we may do 6 weeks and then give up. So what don't we want this podcast to be? What kind of thing don't we want to do? Because we ruled out, because we thought it would be very obvious if we did like serial killers or like paranormal mysteries, because like everyone's done that, and also people would kind of expect us to do that because we're the death hilarious and we're just a bit weird and we're like,
it's spooky o'clock.
Yeah, spooky o'clock. Yeah,
and we're not sitting here
to be like
just constantly going. Yeah. Oh man.
So my mum, right? You won't believe. Well, like my mum,
what's your mum do?
Like knock on the door, and and I'll be like, getting to it with like a guy or a girl, because I sort of I like both. But we sort of I'll be getting down with it, and she'll knock on the door, and she'll knock and then walk in. What's the point in knocking? What's the point in knocking?
It'll give you a good idea of what it's
like.
Yeah, but also kind of what it's like to grow up in the English-speaking
South Wales Valleys.
Yeah, or city in my case. I'm not from the Valleys. I'm from the city of Swansea. So Darren's from the Valleys. Yeah. I now live in the Swansea Valley. He's from the Rhondda Valleys, but I'm from Swansea, the city.
Yeah, I was chiselled out of a fucking raw lump of bitumen. And that's bitumen, not bitumen, which is that nightclub we always go to.
I was going to say, I thought that's what that woman on your street calls your mother. Is that bitumen? She's got a letter of mine. Go and knock that door, see if that bitum's in. What? What's that mean? See if that bitum is in. She calls her bitum.
Yeah, bitum's in, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's an old South Wales saying, actually.
Bitum's in,
Bitum's.
It means that horrible woman's in her house. But,
Do you know there was, actually, this is I'm just going to say this here because I just remembered it, but talking about like people not getting on with their neighbours, there was a couple at the end of top of my parents' street who were quite old, and I really got on with them because I was friends with their grandson. They were a really lovely old couple. They were married for 75 years and they died when they were like 100. They were a nice couple.
Yeah.
And they really did not get on with the people next door, who were like a sort of older yuppie family from the 80s, and he drove like what is now a really crappy sports car, but he thought he was the fucking shit. You know, they had like a big chandelier you could see from the front window.
What, in the car?
No, in the front room, sorry. And, you know, everything was like panelled wood, and they never changed it, so even by like the late 90s it looked dated and shit. And he had this like horrible kind of it was just this dreadful kind of 80s hair. Like he looked like a footballer from the 80s.
Right,
you know, just terrible, this guy. And he had this argument with them, and apparently the police had to get involved because when she was out doing her gardening, this old lady, and she did look like this bird, just with the way her hair and her glasses were. He used to stand by the fence, and he would go. He used to go. She was gone. I've forgotten about this. He used to go, "The owl is out."
What?
The owl is out. Talking about her, she did look a bit like an owl because of her hair and glasses.
And her head would turn around 360 degrees. You go,
"Who do you? Who do you? Who are you?"
and she's got cough up a pellet.
That's right, yeah.
I'm calling the police. This is harassment.
But he would just go, "The owl is out." I saw him do it once.
That's amazing. Really?
Yeah, because he had a daughter who was pretty good looking, actually. She was older than me. I was about 10. So,
Nice.
and we occasionally used to go up that end of the street. His
Yeah.
daughter was big into tennis, I remember. So she was always like playing tennis and stuff. And we used to go up and just hang around.
So she had just a 32C bra size, if I recall correctly.
She was like 12, Darren.
Yeah, but you were 10, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You just because you are aroused by the memory
Of a 12-year-old.
of a 12-year-old.
Oh, no.
That
I'm not aroused by it. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but that's just a memory you've had. It's like what it is. It's the memory.
But that's true of anyone who remembers their girlfriend.
No, what it is,
not in school. Not that I ever had one.
But is it okay? look, Your Honour, is it okay if it's the memory of your own arousal?
What?
That's basically
how you trick an adult into being a paedophile. Is go, "Do you remember how attractive you found your 12-year-old girlfriend in school?" And like your dad goes, "Yeah." And you go, "And how old are you now?" 68.
Let's just slap some cuffs on him. You're coming to the station with me.
Sorry, Stevie boy.
You mnemonic monster. It's like yeah, that's basically
Memoric pedophilia. Memoric pedophilia. Memoric. Is that a word?
Yes, I think you'll find I'm guilty of pederasty in memoriam, sir.
That is fucking mad.
Throw me in Newgate, because there's a jail in the past.
Yeah. If I'm to go there, make sure she's waiting for me. He's like a massive boner through his fucking jeans.
"I'm coming, Tammy. Raise the portcullis."
He just runs into the wall and knocks himself out. Oh, God.
Wow. And it's this kind of like fork lightning imagination that you can expect on this podcast.
Can we just take a moment to feel sorry for all the people over the years who've had to sit near us in coffee shops when we've written sketches?
I generally thought you were going to say, can we feel sorry for a moment for all the people who've been abused by paedophiles? Can we take at least a minute silence? Look, we honour the war dead, right? Once a year on the 11th.
That's a good point.
Why can't we lump? What about the paedophiles who you know? What about the people who are victims of paedophilia?
What about the paedophiles? Yeah, they should be best forgotten.
And they shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. And they're into that. Yeah. The idea they go, "Oh, they shall not grow old, alright."
That's why paedophile legs it towards the cenotaph. "They shall not grow old, that's my cup of tea. Stop the train, I want to get on." They shall not grow old.
Oh, wow. Wow, that was really funny.
That was very funny. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. We want it to be
real, and I know that sounds really cliche, but
even that sort of thing, like, you know, laughing about a paedophile, like, you just, like, most podcasts in this country, you wouldn't you wouldn't get that, alright? And that's why we're better than every other podcast out there, alright? Because what we want to do is, we want to open the moral Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
And if you want to stand there and open your eyes and look into it with us, then let's go. Where on earth did you find this, Glenn? So,
as much as this is, like, fucking awful and mental and just so of its time, like, one or two of the comics on there, like, they could, like, spin a good joke occasionally, but most of them can't, and it's horrendous. A lot of these jokes are those, they're kind of like out of the hat jokes, like nobody really knows who wrote them.
Yes. It's like a kind of, it's almost like a, they're like community jokes that people can just take and use down the pub just to kind of socially integrate themselves.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this is where they got the inspiration in The Simpsons for the Book of British Teeth.
Yes, because some of the Nashers on show here are absolutely astonishing. It's like seeing like fossils of like mammoths and Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, you're like, wow, I can't believe that used to exist on this planet.
Yeah,
that used to be a living thing.
Yeah,
and this is the case of some of these. So we're going to watch a clip from the 1975 show. So this would have been primetime TV.
Oh yeah, my God, everyone would have seen this because there were like four or five channels.
Would have been
probably.
Maybe. When was Channel 4?
I don't know, actually. I'm not going to lie.
I think there may have even been 3 channels. Granada, classic. A good label.
Like Yorkshire Ripper vibes.
The comedians!
There he is. There he is. Look at that hair. Right, I need to pause these each time. Right, so this is Jim Bowen.
Of Bullseye.
Bullseye fame when he was, I want to say a lot younger, but
do you know you would be horrified probably how young he is there.
Yeah, he's
probably in his 30s.
Yeah.
When was this? The 70s?
Yeah, this is what, like, a life of, like, you know,
he's probably
drinking Ruddles and fucking smoking, I don't know, 50 Rothmans a day.
Yeah, this is like fried food and chippy suppers.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Can
we actually find out how old he was? I reckon he was, in 1975, I reckon he was, wait, hang on then. I reckon he's about 38 there. Are you kidding me? I'm really good at that.
He's a year older than me there.
Oh my God, that is nuts.
Wow. There you got Frank Carson.
That's the way I tell him.
He was
in the SAS in the Second World War, Frank Carson.
I generally thought you were going to say he was in the SS. They look like pure breed horses.
Yeah, they do look like it.
I mean?
It's a very equine feel to the whole thing.
It's like so northern. There's like no vowels in it whatsoever.
Now we get annoyed if someone did that about Welsh people. Yeah. So, but you are right. Yeah. You are correct.
They're not people.
What we can get?
Right, can we guess maybe what the end of this joke might be?
Liverpool
psychiatrist. Let's hear a bit more of it.
The psychiatrist said, "What is it?" And he went.
I mean, you're laughing.
It is funny.
His face is funny. Going. Right, so it's our kid.
Our
brother. My brother thinks he's an orange.
Something
about
vitamin C.
Something about the Pips. I don't know. Come on.
The Pips could be a good one because the Pips could be like a district in Liverpool.
That's where John Lennon came from. The Pips, wasn't it? That's where Menlove Avenue is, isn't it? That's where he lived.
And the psychiatrist said, "Well, get him down here." He said, "I've got him here in my pocket."
Right, Alan, what was that? I missed
He's
that.
got his brother in his pocket because he thinks he's an orange, so he's brought him with him. Because the
Gotcha,
joke is,
gotcha,
in
so-
fact, he is mad, not the brother.
Right, so it's like a classic pull back and reveal.
Yep.
The doc, he must have been 107. He was in the doctor's
Oh, Welsh bloke.
Doctor, I want you to give me a medical examination. He said, what for? He said, I want to marry a young girl of 16.
He's either from Wales or some sort of very obscure district in India. It's not.
He's an albino.
It's,
He's an albino from the Punjab. Very rare.
yeah. That's the thing. Most of these jokes that we get in from us, like, oh, okay, that went where I expected it to go.
I do feel bad though that I hate myself for like finding the delivery of the Welsh comedian funnier.
Yeah,
Because he had a real South Wales accent.
Yeah, it's like tapped into some sort of like primitive kind
Yeah.
of Welsh.
Yeah, it's almost like you're going, I know he sounded like my baby. You know, it's that sort of. That's what it seemed like.
Reminded me of better times.
Yeah.
Where all you had to worry about was kicking a ball into the goal.
Yeah, I want to look for the guy who. Look for the guy with the weird comb over because he's very strange. Keep going.
Majesty, pleasure.
Him.
Oh yeah.
This
so,
guy.
I mean, he looks like he's recovered from third-degree burns, and most of his face is graft.
He has the hair.
He's
No,
more,
he
he's
has
more
the
skin
hair.
graft than human.
He looks like the Tollan man. He's got the hair of the Tollan man.
How many of these? I would be honest though. How many of these comedians do you look at and you see what they wear and you go, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I quite like some of that gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's
I can
no
see you
doubt.
wearing
Hang
most
on
of
now.
this.
There is no doubt. Like a lot of people whinge about how it used to be better back in the 70s and 80s and 60s and stuff, and it generally wasn't for like people's individual liberties, health, housing, and so, it was worse.
Yeah, winter
People
discontent and
were
all that
dressed
sort
a
of
lot better. I think that's a
shit. Yeah,
fact.
they did. Yeah, I mean, I'm accusing you saying that I'm currently dressed as a 70s housewife or 70s dinner lady.
Yeah, you are.
So there we go. That's episode 1 of Last of the Good Guys. We've been the Death Hilarious. Please do join us for next week's episode, where we'll be watching a what can only be described as a pornographic film featuring a
beloved character from cinema, and you'll have to tune in to find out who that is.
Yes. And I think the best way for this to go out is for us to maybe we're talking about being in comedy and how you have to create this false sense of joy.
Yeah.
And we're going to go out playing the musical interlude from the comedians.
Yeah.
And maybe just show us like larking around and having a real good time with each other.